Alrighty, how's everybody doing? Almost Valentine's Day. Hope everybody's doing well. I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks, probably almost 3 weeks. But there's a couple things that are on my mind right now, and um, sometimes I'm just appalled by how lax some parents are. And now I realize sometimes things happen and there's nothing you can do. But I think parents need to have a eye on their kids a little more than what does happen a lot of the time. And one of the stories in particular is a girl a 14-year-old girl. I didn't know this girl, but I know a lot of kids that had met her. And she was killed a few weeks ago in a car crash. Sad as it is. The accident happened at 4 a.m. on a Friday night going into a Saturday. The driver of the car was reportedly drunk. And I just wonder how it happens that a 14-year-old is in the company of a 19 or 20-year-old that's drunk and at that hour. I know a lot of parents who, their kids are teenagers and they stay at each other's house for the weekend, and days at a time they don't even see their parents. And I don't understand that one either. Okay? Okay, staying at somebody else's house, sure. All kids do that. You have conversations, parents have conversations with other parents. The hosting parents are just as strict about certain things. I don't necessarily mean a tyrant, but, you got to be in by a certain time. You got to keep tabs on them during the times that they're at shopping malls or anything else, and you pick them up at a certain time and they better be ready. And then what have you there? Well, I'm not saying that it's bad parenting if a kid sneaks an extra cookie out of a cookie jar without you catching them, or you think they're in bed when they're really in their room playing video games. Well, alright, that's, if they're not in their room at all and you don't even know it, shame on you. But if stuff like that. So that's a tragedy, and it's something that really could have been avoided if there's a little bit tighter chains. You go to police stations, you look at certain stuff. So-and-so's been missing since 1998 or 2002, and Billy rode his bike to watch an ambulance and firemen, and next thing I know, they haven't seen him since. So-and-so walked up to a 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee. They haven't seen him since. It's all kinds of that. It's everywhere. So, and those are times that, maybe it's even times of day that are relatively safe. Terrible as that is, there's not much you can do. But you could make sure that your 14-year-old's not out at 4 a.m. And that you at least know where your kids are. That I just don't get. I got an even worse story. A man about 33, his 29-year-old cousin, and his 4-year-old daughter were shot and wounded. They went into... His 29-year-old cousin was the driver of the car, while the man who had the small child goes into a drug house to make his purchase. An argument ensued. He's chased out of the house with a man with a gun who fires at him while he's getting into the car. He's hit in the shoulder and arm, I believe. His cousin, is hit in the hand, and his 4-year-old daughter is hit in the arm. Fortunately, nobody died. Nobody's injured beyond the point that they'll recover. That could just as easily have been a tragedy. And how do you subject a 4-year-old girl to something like this? You've got your addictions, you've got your habits, all right. I might not support your habit, I might not agree with your habit. You have it, addictions are what they are. But to put your 4-year-old in harm's way is something I cannot understand, or even begin to try to find some amnesty for. I'm not a guy who's speechless very often, but in a case like that, I really kind of am, because that is just horrendous. It's just horrendous. Blatant disrespect for the most valuable form of life, children. So that's my talk for tonight.